Hey everyone, hi beautiful people. Hope this finds you all well and with ease of heart. I'm going to share this with you and then we're going to weave some deeper insight. So many of you may have known, those of you in the UK I'm really sure you would have, of a gentleman called Ben Fogle. He hosts a TV program called New Lives in the Wild, and I'm just going to read you this. This really jumped out at me, something that I have really tried to over the years get behind in my approach to life, and also kind of in the way that I weave my consultations. You know, it's some of the real gold that has really kind of shone through within the consultations. It's simple truths, the simplicity within life, or stripping things back. So I'm just going to read you this, then we can kind of weave in another deeper thread, and then I'm going to kind of share a few things, and we'll gently wrap up the video. So, the simpler life, the simpler life. Enjoy the little things in life, because one day you will look back and realise that they were the big things. If there is one common thread with all the wild folk I have visited, it is simplicity. I would really deeply agree with that. Is that over the years I've got to spend time with the most incredible people, if that be people that work the land, woodsmen, and of course that thread runs through my family. Those people that grow their own food, those that are out there foraging for wild food and wild medicine. You know, those conversations that I've had sitting around a fire with the gypsy kettle sitting on that fire waiting for that kettle to boil, is the common thread has always been that those people, those folk, really have a simplicity in the way that they live and move through life and approach life. It is the one common thread with all those folk, all those wild folk, is simplicity. They all live simple lives, and to a certain extent free from the burden that often makes our lives so complex and difficult. Simplicity is the key to happiness, and I would really echo that. I really kind of believe that when we kind of strip everything back and we boil it down to simplicity, there is a contentment that I think is somehow kind of deeper than happiness. It's kind of richer, it has more substance to it than happiness. Okay. We have made our lives so complicated. You know, look at the world. You know, one of the things that one of the messages that constantly Spirit use, or one of the sayings, there's many sayings. You know, one of the biggest ones that Spirit use often is that it's never by chance, it's by design. It's never by chance, it's by design. What is meant for you doesn't pass you by. But another one, real deep one, that has been there moving through me for years, is simple truths for a complicated world. Simple truths for a complicated world. You know, we have made our lives so complicated that sometimes we just need to simplify things. And I think we're living in a moment in time that simplicity is going to be key. It's absolutely going to be key. Sometimes we just need to simplify things. We think that those things make our lives easier, but in fact they often make it harder. So we've kind of got this layered layered approach to life. You know, it's like over full and it's overstimulated and it's moving over fast. You know, look at the world, it's spinning and it's just full of noise. So we've made our lives so complicated that sometimes we just need to simplify things. We think that those things make our lives easier, but in fact they often make it harder. If you want nothing, you have everything. How beautiful is that? If you want nothing, you have everything. Simplify your life and you'll find the key to happiness and contentment. Contentment feels richer, deeper. Simplicity. Now this is a really, really, really good piece of wisdom, advice, knowledge. Simplicity does not mean easy. Right, so we're kind of moving into Easter. There isn't going to be a podcast until May. Reason being, we're moving into Easter holidays. It is springtime, so beginning to kind of work with the family, the kitchen gardens. Okay, so we're beginning to work the kitchen gardens, beginning to work that space. We've got Easter holidays, family, little ones, for extended break time outside of their schooling. Got birthdays as well. Mine. This last year's gone. So much has happened in this last year as well, hasn't it? Also my dear dad as well. My dear dad. 71, 72, 72. Yeah, 72. Me, 51. So got birthdays as well. So a time of kind of really getting our hands into the ground, into the land, celebrating that with the family, little ones as well, in amongst all that, them becoming a part of it. And it's beautiful as they get older, you know, seeing them kind of really connect with that, you know. My little one, who's not so little now, he was saying to me about, we were making biodynamic compost, and I was taught the biodynamic way recently. I've kind of always had an understanding of how to make compost, but this is biodynamic. You know, work with the moon phases, and you kind of really layer the material. And he was saying to me, our leafy greens is nitrogen, the brown, which is kind of the branches, twigs, cardboard is the carbon, and when you mix nitrogen and carbon together, it triggers the compost. And we were looking through some old compost and we were mixing it in with the layers, and we've been watering each layer. It was beautiful process, really amazing process. And we found all these tiger worms. And he was absolutely fascinated by that. So, you know, there isn't going to be a podcast until May time. So we're going to take a break from the podcasting, consulting as always, as normal, in amongst this seasonal transition. And that feels really right to do that. It would have been a time where I've been like, oh no, you know, I need to continue. No, because actually in the transition, I'm being able to kind of, you know, allow the inspiration to also stir and take hold. So come May, there's going to be some beautiful, rich content, absolutely, let it compost, rich content to be able to share with you all. And here's the thing, okay, simplicity does not mean easy. So there we are, we're working the land, working the kitchen gardens, you know, all the little ones involved in that, which is absolutely beautiful. But it doesn't mean that it's easy, you know. We're working at it, but there is this simplicity and this other ease within that. All right, so I think that was really, really wise piece of information. Simplicity does not mean easy. It just means you try to get rid of the junk that complicates it all. Fill your life with experience, not things. Absolutely, real ambassador for that. I've kind of over the years cleared away, and always seeking the experiences. Trying to nourish those experiences with those within my world, those I love, that be friends, family. Always just wanting to nourish those experiences, and also within the community that we are really blessed to be a part of. Fill your life with experiences, not things. Stop striving for perfection. Spirit have a saying, another wonderful saying that we want to share, is that it's not about perfection, it's about progression, right? So I think about all the things that I've kind of learn over time outside of the spiritual, it is to me spiritual, the holistic mediumship, is take growing a kitchen garden, a food garden, or working with salves and making kind of soaps and things like that, is that it hasn't always been perfect. You kind of learn from improving, so it's progression rather than perfection. And I know that through physical recovery several times within my life of taking the fall last year, complete knots off my feet many years back, learning to walk again, that it's always been about progression rather than perfection. Okay, so stop striving for perfection, and stop procrastinating. Lean into it. It's not how much we have, but how much we enjoy what we have that counts. Expect nothing and appreciate everything. Absolutely love that. You do. I think as you get older, your expectation of things just kind of changes. So you expect nothing and appreciate everything. It's not something that takes hold fast, that grows within you, I feel. One of the simplest ways to be happy is to let go of all the things that make you sad. I love that. Simple. There you go. And I was able to let you know what's happening with the podcast. A few people have messaged me, and I had kind of put out a little note about the podcast on Instagram, but I've had a few emails saying, where's the podcast? I thought it was weekly. This time of year, what you'll find is those big seasonal changes and shifts, we will take a short break from the podcasting, which also allows us to kind of really compost some really beautiful content as we integrate that transition. And it'll be the same around midsummer as well, into the depth of summer, if we start to pull out big harvests, and we start to preserve some of that food, and we get out there and forage and pickle some of the wild foods as well. So yeah, really lovely as always to be able to connect with all of you. A little bit of wisdom there, going to leave that with you, and as always going to leave the love of spirit with you, and absolutely keep shining. And until next time, lots of love to you all, sending you all so much love. Take care, keep shining, continue to be you.